Hey, folks. Hey, YouTube and Periscope. Hello, people. Hey, folks. Hey, YouTube. Okay, it's delayed feedback here. What? Is this an infomercial? No, it's a rant. Welcome, folks. Hey, guys, welcome. Happy Father's Day to the fathers. Welcome, folks. What's going on? YouTube and Periscope. Let me hope we don't get disconnections today. This has been big issue that just randomly disconnects during the broadcast, which I can't explain what's going on. Do they have field day in your neck of the woods? Yeah, of course they have field day. I don't really do any of that. I don't. I'm not really active in clubs and such. So I'm more of an experimenter, Michiru. I'm more of an experimenter. I like to kind of like experiment with things. And hello, John. And hello, Sparky16. What's the complaint today, Sparky? Hold on, let me just set up the YouTube station here. And then we got Periscope running over here. Hold on a second. It always takes a minute. Oh, you see. It's just, I don't really do a lot of, if people are saying, I'm going to go listen to the airwaves in LA and see if I hear you there. You probably won't hear me. Happy Father's Day, Michi Haru. Ken Quads. Hello, Ken Quads. Yeah, you probably won't hear me. I listen a lot, but hello, Daniel Horton. But I tend not to be, it's just that I don't really have time to do a lot of small talk conversations. If there's a big, long, like technical discussion, then I'd love it. But, a lot of ham radio is small talk and just too busy. Hello, DJ Frank Miami. DJ Frank Miami, how are you doing? So so I'm not usually found on the I'm not You don't find me doing CQ all night either. I'm here for the piano, down for the science. Whatchamacallit? Yes, I'm out listening while walking, sort of looking. Okay, there you go. So John, it's early morning for you, I'm sure. Hello, Lenny PR. So Lenny PR was complaining to me, a week ago or a few days ago, and I'm Miami here too. Hello, Psychotria. I have a little bit of a rant. Lenny was kind enough to understand what's going on. Lunchtime. Oh, it's already lunchtime. Wow. Lenny was kind enough to understand, what he was dealing with. But hey, Rob, what the evolution of blockchain tech, will it be adopted? Digital dollars graded than paper? No, they're two different things. Styles, two different things. I don't think one will replace. Although we are not really doing. You think of money as paper, which it isn't. Everything is digital mostly. It's 99% digital, maybe more. I mean, how much cash is actually circulated? So it's just, it's something to do with which is fiat money and non-fiat money, if you understand what that means. Fiat money is government-controlled banking versus non-fiat money, which is not controlled by any government, and that has some unique features, and that's I like it. I like it. I'm a big supporter of crypto, and which means some of you will unfollow me because say, well, I don't like, I have many beliefs, and a lot of people stop following me because of it. Some of you followed me. Some of you followed me because of okay, hold on. The connection is dropping here on Periscope, but it's okay. Okay, from my end. So some of you have followed me because you watch one of my videos on, let's say, cybersecurity or something to do with antivirus or whatever, and then you start to see things about my posts about the surveillance internet or WhatsApp. I can't believe that, I don't know, 3 people unfollowed me because of what I said about WhatsApp. Well, fuck you. If you love WhatsApp, then you don't really belong in my channel. I'm going to be frank with you. If you think Zuck and his products are excellent, then we have a big conflict right there. A big one. A pretty big, hello, Twitty. Big problem right there. I mean, it's like Democrat, Republican. It's kind of like that. If you're pro Zuck, well, conflict, because that's not what I talk about. The biggest invader of privacy is WhatsApp. So a lot of people unfollowed me, unsubscribed to my YouTube because of comments I made on WhatsApp and about the surveillance internet. And I said, truly, if you unfollowed me because of that, then you followed me for the wrong reason, because I am what I am, and my stuff is very, very clear. I stand for privacy, protecting you. What I talk about is for you, not to take advantage of you, but to serve you. And when people come out and say, well, why do you say bad things about WhatsApp? Because WhatsApp is zucked up. It's a little ploy by Zuck to make you think that you're actually private. That's why he bought that company. The original people who developed WhatsApp are no longer in WhatsApp. They quit a long time ago because they didn't like where it's going. And where's it going? Well, the metadata for WhatsApp is completely stored on Zuckbook. Is a little bit of instability here in my YouTube. Hold on, maybe I'm on the wrong Wi-Fi. Hold on, I'm just gonna verify that. Oh yeah, wrong Wi-Fi. Hold on a second here. Let me correct the Wi-Fi for the broadcast so it doesn't drop. Okay, there we go. We're in the right Wi-Fi here. Let me just see if we're in the right Wi-Fi in here. Yep. Let me see if I'm Twitty. Oh my gosh, Twitty, that is so kind of you, Twitty. Thank you, Twitty. Yeah, so I want to make it clear what I stand for, and if if what I stand for is not compatible with what you stand for, uh, I don't need to refashion myself and say, "Oh, I'm sorry for saying bad things about WhatsApp." Thank you, Twitty. Thank you so much. You don't know how that counts for a lot. That appreciate it so much. It's not just that I'm not here to kowtow to whatever and weaken my beliefs because was referred. Thank you, Twitty. Um, Chinese is cheap and tears up easy. Does not gonna have to do with anything. Then don't buy it. Don't buy it. I don't need to kowtow to just to get subscribers. I'm gonna change my stripes. Not gonna change my stripes. You may do sailing YouTube videos. I do have a recording of a sailing session. It's been pretty crappy weather out here, to be honest with you. It's like not really good for video. It's like been gloomy constantly here. You like Chinese food styles? Need to learn. Okay, and that's what I'm here for. Now, this broadcast is about a rant. So there's a reason the title is what it is. And somebody said, is this an infomercial? No, it's not an infomercial. This is not an infomercial night. That is not what it's about. Okay, the best girl. Lenny PR. Lenny PR. I'm sorry to say they don't have good Chinese food in Puerto Rico. Are there any Chinese in Puerto Rico? What's your reception like on the water? Not good. Hello, Ariel 3VP. Hello, Andrew Ostex on your first day in Periscope. Thank you, Twitty. I'm at 101 level. Need to learn. Thank you. So, but let me just tell you something about what I do. And thank you, Twitty, for joining us tonight. I'm a yes. I started my live streaming 4 years ago on Periscope, and as many of you on Periscope know, I'm from Argentina, Ariel. Yes, I would suggest, Ariel, that you buy the Raspberry Pi from there and just download the software. There's no use paying expensive shipping for a cheap Raspberry Pi that you probably can get cheaply over there. So I'll tell you what model to buy. Buy the Raspberry Pi over there and just download the software for me. And it's just so simple. We don't need to do all the shipping stuff. We don't need to do any of that. That's just too much trouble. So anyway, sorry for. Let me try not to interrupt. I'll push off the question. If I don't read the question right now, I'll do it after. I just want to make sure I make my point clear tonight about what the title's all about. The title is about the fact that I'm a small business and I am here, not making money, to be honest with you, to teach you about privacy and internet privacy because it really, really worries me about privacy, that no one speaks about what I speak about. There really is no one on YouTube that focuses on what I talk about, certainly no one on Periscope. And I focus on your privacy and I give you little tips on how to protect it and many times tools, cybersecurity tools and things like that to help you with that aspect of privacy, the cybersecurity side. And I do this, pretty much at the cost of making money doing other things. I am a pretty successful software developer, so I can easily just stop doing this and do software development and stop all this broadcasting. And the thing is that I have a mission, and my mission is to communicate to you, the importance of privacy and the importance of fighting back and making you aware that the surveillance economy and surveillance internet is dangerous, and there's no one here to warn you about what they're doing with it. And in order to sustain myself, people, I sell a few products. Not much. It's not enough to support me, but I sell a few products, and it's a way for you guys to to support as well, because you can buy things that you need anyway. And the two things that I sell are the VPN and the Wi-Fi, the VPN Wi-Fi router products, and those products are unique. They're not the same as the ones you buy out there, and they're unique. And because I'm a very advanced developer, I'm able to do things that other companies are not able to do, and I put that in those products. And here's my rant, guys. Here's my rant. So one of you here, it's 89. It's 89 for the subscription a year for the VPN subscription, which is for Bytes VPN and Bytes Store. So you get two things with it. You get a VPN, a Tor. You get a standard VPN, a Tor routing solution, and then on top of that you get ad blocking. Well, it depends where you are. There's no tax outside of California. There's no tax on VPN because that's just a service. The VPN is a service that's not taxable. Yeah, there's no the hardware has tax, the Wi-Fi router, but the VPNs don't have tax. In any case, I'm going to tell you a little story. Because it just bugged me. Because I do this for you. I do this for you. I mean, I do my broadcast every day here, and a lot of you realize what I do. Maybe most of you don't. That I do this with very little benefit to myself, and I've been sustaining myself. And I actually, how can I get that? It's the link is rob.brax.me. It's on my profile here, rob.brax.me, and that's my it goes to my website. There's a store in there, and you join my app. It's called Brax.me app, and Brax.me is a secure encrypted platform, which I give to you for free as well. I made that platform, and I supply it free for the most part. There's some paid services on it, but pretty much it's mostly free. And thank you, Twitty. And hello, Nabil. How are you, Nabil? Did I see somebody followed me on Twitter that said Nabil's fiance? Is that your fiance? I just want to make clear if I follow the right person there. Somebody said I'm Nabil's fiance and on their profile, and I followed, and I don't know who that was. So just verify for me, Nabil, if it is. Anyway, I build these products, without really any expectations, and I do this mostly as a don't follow them. Okay, Nabil. Kennedy. Hello, Kennedy. Well, it's a her. It's hello, Kennedy. It's a her. So I thought, and somebody looked like you in the picture, and didn't say Nabil who. No, it was like somebody, somebody Nabil. So I'm Nabil's fiance, and I said, yeah. So I was like, is that fake? Is that a fake thing? My gosh. Okay, I will unfollow the said person. I thought you're already engaged. You're pretty young for that. You're still in college, so that's pretty young. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you a little story, and I'm gonna tell you a little story. Obviously I am a small business. I mean, I'm doing this mostly. I'm doing this mostly to teach you guys, and some of these products are just here to keep the lights on, so to speak. Okay, Nabil got the message. I'm here to keep the lights on, so to speak, but I'm mainly here to teach you and for providing a service that doesn't profit me. Okay, Uncle Joe, I'll do that. Why don't you watch me on YouTube, Uncle Joe? So anyway, somebody bought my VPN. I want to tell you the story because it's kind of sad because it's almost like they don't really appreciate you know what they're getting into with me, and I want to make sure there are no hidden secrets here. If you're expecting a big corporation with me, no, you're not. I am not a big corporation. So if you're saying I'm not going to buy your VPN products or your Brax Wi-Fi routers, and you want to buy inferior products from others just because they're a big corporation, then you're right. Go buy the inferior products from the big corporations and get the inferior servers from the inferior corporations just because they're big. Yes, you can do that. That is your right. That is your right to do. That doesn't, it is what it is. Does your VPN have an app? Yes, it does. It's all VPNs use the same kind of app. It's all good for you. Yeah, all VPNs use the same app. All VPNs, all commercial VPNs use the same protocol. They're practically on that part of it. We're all the same. We all use OpenVPN. Okay, the differences lie in other issues, not in the main VPN itself. All VPNs are pretty much the same. So if you're talking about the operational aspect of a VPN, we all use the same software. We may use different servers. Like I use pretty big servers for the number of people in it. So there are very few people in each server in my case because that's the way I want the service to be. And a bigger company will often squeeze thousands of people on one server because that's how they make a profit. The profit thing is not that big of importance. I just need to survive and pay the bills. But it's it's not. I'm not here to fleece you. I don't make much money doing any of this. Okay, I'm not here to fleece you on anything. But I'm going to tell you the story. So this guy bought and he's a old time follower here on Periscope. So finally he broke he finally decided to get the VPN. So at 2 a.m. yesterday morning, my time, 2 a.m. he bought the VPN. 2 a.m. Okay. Then he tried to install it and he encountered a problem. Then he left me a note at 6 a.m. or whatever, my time, on a weekend. This is Saturday, and said it's not running. Okay, I had a gig at 8 o'clock. I had to get up early, and then at around past 9 o'clock my time in the morning, I looked at my phone and saw the question. But I'm at a gig, it's a weekend, and I'm playing music at a farmer's market. And so I responded, I'll get back to you later. From the App Store, Braxme is on Android or iOS App Store. Braxme. Anyway, so I responded to him and said, I'm in a gig right now. I'll get back to you later, but make sure that your password is uppercase, lowercase, because many people make a mistake in the password. They don't see that it's uppercase, lowercase. Okay. I left that response. He didn't respond back. I checked out. I said I'll be back home by early afternoon, and I went back in the early afternoon and said, well, did you figure it out? What's going on? Didn't hear. Night, didn't hear anything, and I'm just sitting there waiting for him to see what's going on. Hello, Kyle. And then after all this, I get a message again on the sucking morning when I wake up, say, I asked for, sir, I bought the software at 2 a.m. and it took you, till 1 p.m. to respond, which, by the way, is only 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning for me. Okay, and I'm at a gig, and this is a weekend. Okay, and he said, so this is too difficult. I want my money back. I want a refund. I want a refund because you're too small. It's like, suck you. This is a weekend. People talk to me on tech support at 2 a.m., 1 a.m., whenever I'm awake. I'm not a big business, but I provide you with excellent products, and you can talk to me directly, and you cannot be cheated, because all you have to do is go to my live broadcast that I'm doing here and insult me right here, and I would lose customers. So I can't screw anyone. I have to be honest with my dealings with everyone, with what I do, and I have to make sure my products are actually good. Because if it's not, one of you will come in here. Many of you use my product, and somebody will come and tell me, "Well, your product sucked." Well, yeah, many of you use it. Any one of these people can come in here and say, "Yeah, your product sucks." Then I would be sucked. YouTube doesn't have to be sucked. There's just set up your Google activity controls, and you will not be sucked on YouTube. Okay, so guys, if there's any secret that I'm running a small company, providing you with personalized service, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I'm here to I'm teaching you. Nobody else teaches this. The only support I get for teaching this is selling products that you're going to buy anyway. And my products are different. My VPN is different. Why is my VPN different, for example? Well, my VPN has ad blocking and has Tor routing. How many VPNs have ad blocking and Tor routing? And if you go with a big company like PIA, for example, which I used to support, they start blocking your email. And because they're so well known as a VPN, just like NordVPN and IPVanish and all these stupid products, every big company, meaning Google, Apple, Twitter, etc., they know all the VPN addresses of these companies, and they auto captcha code you. They just auto captcha code you because they know who. There are thousands of people on the same IP address. They detect a VPN. Yes, all of them skills, all of the big ones. That's why I sell a stealth VPN. Aside from all the Tor routing and ad blocking that I do, and the fact that there are very few people in each server, on top of that, so they're very big, powerful servers to get higher speed. The biggest advantage is they're stealthy. No one actually knows their VPNs. I change them frequently enough that nobody knows their VPNs. Not only that, I don't email you with any correspondence on the VPN. All correspondence on the VPN is done in an encrypted platform or Brax.me. So there are many, many advantages to what I do for your privacy. And people are like saying, well, you're not a big company. Well, it sucks. I can't help that. I am not a big company. So if you want a big company, don't buy anything from me. Don't buy anything from me. So buying you whatever your favorite drink is. Thank you, Twitty. Thank you. Twitty, did you do that again? Is that the second one? My gosh, Twitty, you're awesome. Almost none have the Tor routing. Nobody has Tor routing, Donnie. What do you mean almost none? None of the big ones have Tor routing. Maybe a small one may have Tor routing. But PIA fixed the captcha code problem. PIA also raised their price, so they're the practically same price as I am for my extra offering. So for a service that I offer, which is very, very competitive and very much better product, for about the same price, you're supporting what I do. You're supporting what I do, which is to teach people about privacy and give you more things than just a VPN. I'm giving you information. I'm teaching you about things in here with my videos and with my broadcasts. And I don't get any support from doing this other than to sell you. I'm not begging anyone to, hey, sustain me for doing this. No, I just sell products. That's all I do. Okay, products that you need anyway. Not. There's no snake oil here. I'm not doing anything to trick you into anything. It's a product you're going to buy anyway. If you're going to buy it anyway, I'm saying, well, why don't you buy my better product? And in addition, you support what I do, which is to broadcast about privacy, because there's no one talking about what I talk about. I am the John Connor. Join the resistance. This is the resistance. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Mario. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you, Hawaii dealer. Uh, uh, Thank you, Hawaii dealer. So, yeah. So many people have had. I go overboard to help. With personal time to do any of this, and Rob ZPM will care whatever ails you. So it's just I just felt kind of saddened and a little bit insulted by the individual who said, well, you're a small company. Well, I'm not gonna go with some small company. It's like it's like you're paying for a VPN here. This is not like some super expensive product you're buying. Okay. Okay. I mean, what is my profit margin on VPN? $10. So I got to go get the insult for maybe a $10 profit. I don't know. It's just you know. Yes, the profit will buy me, couple of regular coffees. That's what's gonna buy me, and I gotta get the insult and so on. So I'm just asking you guys to understand that yes, I'm not hiding that this is a small company. If you buy something from me, I'm a small company, but you're gonna get direct service from me, and I'm here all the time. If many of you have problems with products years later, those of you with old Tor routers that I still service, and at no income to me, and I still service it, and because that's what I do. While you're there at Starbucks, you can get free Wi-Fi. Yes, hello Maui, hello Maui. So I thought it was just it just kind of depressed me a little bit to start my day like that with somebody as if I'm gonna steal your money. If you want a refund, I'll give you a refund. There have been many cases where somebody's come to me and said, "Well, the thing is incompatible with my device for whatever reason." Fine, I'll refund you your money. It's not a big deal. Okay, I'm not here to cheat anyone. Nobody ever gets cheated with me. You know, uh, John, for example, has my VPN and my Wi-Fi route. Many of you have my products here. The true profit margin for the software would be determined by how many hours you put into the coding. Not true, absence. The true if on that price range, then it would actually be closer to $1 profit. You can try it you can try it. If you don't like it, say I want my money back. It's fine with me. That's I cannot. There's no limit to the number of devices you can use with a VPN, but obviously, and I mean, sorry, are you talking about the subscription, or I thought you meant the Wi-Fi router? Six simultaneous devices. You can install it on 50 devices if you want. Just six simultaneous. Six simultaneous. Do you sell metadata to third party? The guy who teaches you about privacy, and you're asking me if I sell your metadata to a third party. Why are some VPNs free? Because they can make money from the VPN. They're called proxy servers. They're not really VPNs. What does a proxy server do? Using your IP address, they can track your locations. They can track your activity. They can track your DNS queries and sell that. Many people would want to have that information for marketing purposes. They sell that data. There's money to be made in doing that. When somebody sells a location pair, location and IP address, and there are many companies you can sell that to. Skyhook, and I mean, I can't even remember all the names of companies now, but there's several in some of my videos. Several companies that buy that kind of data, a IP and address pair. Was that a yes or no? But yes, of course, they take metadata. Yes, on the competitors do. I do not. That's kind of a crazy question. I run an encrypted platform with no metadata. I don't even collect the metadata. Okay, you go to Brax.me. I don't even ask you for your sucking email. You can set up a Brax.me account without any sucking email. No phone number. Many of you talk to me and you use XYZ 999. That's your name. I don't know who XYZ 999 is. I don't have your IP address. I don't have any information about you, and that's all I have. And that's fine. You're allowed to do that on my platform. You're allowed to do that on my platform. I don't try to take advantage of you with that. So it really bothers me when somebody uh, uh, Lovelock loves your money. Of course, your website is down right now. Why would it be down? Type HTTPS. It's not down. It can't be down. HTTPS. Maybe you're not typing HTTPS. It doesn't. It doesn't do HTTP. So let me just verify that while we're live here. You Googled it? No, go to. Oh, must be an old link. Just go to whatthezuck.net HTTPS itself, not the Googling. Yeah, it runs fine right there. Type whatthezuck.net. There's a link on my YouTube videos too. Yeah, it's fine. It's working. No, I changed the link, so the link changed. So if you're going to an old link on Google, it may go to an old link. So just go to the main website, and Braxme is up. What the Zuck is up. Yeah, the VPN is up. Add Neil Marie Ray Hall. Add Neil Marie Ray Hall. That's such a long name. Adnil Marie Ray Hall. You can use an email for recovery in Brax.me or two-factor authentication. On Brax.me, you can use Google Authenticator. If you don't want to put in an email address or a phone number, use a time-based one-time password like Authy or Google Authenticator, and you can get in and validate your identity without using an email. So if you want to, go to Brax and say, I don't really want to keep any data here, not even an email address, fine. You don't have to. Sometimes it goes down. It just, it's impossible to have perfection here. I'm not a big company. I don't have like 10 zucking servers backing it up. So yes, if I don't know about it, sometimes I'm asleep and somebody tells me that it's down when I wake up. Yeah, that can happen. So I don't need to hide that I'm a small company. If somebody is here to say, "Well, you're lying. You're really a small company, but you're calling yourself a big company," it's like, no. Right there, that's my channel name on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel right there. Right there. Easy to find. I've been known to go down. Websites can go down. They run on Amazon. Amazon servers can go down. That's but when I find out about it, usually I can get it up in 5 minutes typically. So if I'm it may be down because I'm asleep, but when I wake up and I find out about it, I type that, nothing comes up. Rob Braxman Tech, nothing comes up. Maybe you're misspelling it. Come on, it's on my profile here on YouTube. If I got your servers that covers me for my smartphone and laptop, more than that, Styles, if you get the VPN, you get covered on up to 6 devices, and they could be a mix of Android laptops, uh, smartphones, iOS. They're all covered. Most companies will only support 4 devices. I support 6. Okay, you can use it up to 6 devices. Most companies will only allow you to have 6 devices simultaneously. So typically you might install that on all of your devices. If you have 10 devices, you will probably install it on all of them. And the only thing required of you is to not use them simultaneously. And that's not likely to happen in any case if it's really just your family. When you start giving it to your all your friends, say, "Hey, use my VPN," well, that'll show up because then there will be 64 people using the same login. So and it's tied to a Brax account, so it's all connected. So on Bytes VPN, it's tied to a Brax Me account, so you can talk to me and do all the tech support inside Brax in a secure platform. What happens if you use 7 devices simultaneously? Why don't you try and see what happens? Yeah, work has always had it. Personal is another word. How does your router work with Xfinity? My router is hard coded to work with Bytes VPN, and Bytes VPN is automatic. On Bytes VPN, you go select the profile you want to use for what server pool you want to use, because I have server pools in different part of the country, and if you just select it from the menu, and because the hardware has a menu, it's not, you don't have to be a programmer to figure it out, and then you can go choose which one. But if you're on a different VPN, what is Xfinity? Xfinity is not a VPN. Xfinity is isn't that an ISP? Is that an ISP? Is Xfinity an ISP? Okay, if Xfinity is an ISP, Comcast. Okay, so that doesn't have anything to do with anything. What does Comcast have to do with VPNs? It doesn't have anything to do with a VPN. That has no effect. We don't really care who your ISP is. That has nothing to do with it. If the FBI subpoenas you to hand over the logging data, what would you do? Absence of nunchi, I would hand over the logging data. Absence nunchi, because that's required by law. But there will not be any logging data. It doesn't exist. There is no logs. If you don't understand Linux, all the logs are sent to dev null. There are no logs. You can go into the server. There's no logs on it. None of my VPNs have logs. I use the VPN. Hello, Mark. I use the VPN myself. There are no logs. There are no logs. I have no idea what Zucking websites you visit. I don't know anything. There's no log whatsoever. There's not even any space on the servers to keep any logs. How do you get rid of personal info that's on the internet? Hello, Mark. How do you get a personal info on the internet? That's pretty hard to do. That's pretty hard to do, Artsy, to get rid of personal info on the internet. Most of the suggestions that will be given to you is to prevent it from getting on the internet. Because once it goes on the internet, you can't really take it out easily. It's extremely hard. How are you going to take your information out of the internet? Let's say, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you go to, let's say you're in, let's say you use, yeah, you can. There's Tor routing. Tor routing is included. So if you want to go to Alphabay, you can do that. But Alphabay is probably being run by the FBI. I'm in California, Uncle Joe. Do I connect the router to the Comcast Wi-Fi router? Yes. Dave Devante, yes. You connect it to the open any available Ethernet port, and the Wi-Fi router runs from it. If you're using the hardware version, the software version, you just install the app on your device. But the hardware version, you just plug it in and it acts as a second Wi-Fi. So if you have one Wi-Fi, you plug it in and you get a second Wi-Fi. Then you choose. So one of them will be a VPN. You can set it to be VPN mode, router mode, or just be a second Wi-Fi router. So you can even use it for that. If you want to put it into a different part of a house, you can use a I forget what the name of that the power line. You know what a power line is? You plug it into your outlet, and then you extend the cable. So if you use power line, you can power line it elsewhere. Uh, just hope on the second Wi-Fi. That's right. So if you want to have a power line, you can actually connect it to a different part of the house away from the router that you joined it to with a power line. So power line is an extension of the Ethernet cable. So you buy the power line. I think it's 50 some bucks for power line. Plug into open Ethernet port. No, not that. No, Ethernet over power line. Yeah, but not PoE. Power over Ethernet, something else. Rob has shown that Braxme does not collect any info before. No, Braxme does not have any data. I've even shown you some of the content of what's on Brax, and the content of Brax is completely encrypted. Hi, I'm a fan from Periscope. My VPN expires November 1, so I want to start your VPN service soon. Thank you, BH. That's a long time from now. That's a long time from now. But again, think of me when you're thinking about a VPN product or a Wi-Fi routing product that you will buy anyway. For example, if you buy a Wi-Fi router, they sell this at. I'll show you a place where they sell this. They sell them at flashrouters.com, which is one of the best suppliers of VPN routers. That's routers, Wi-Fi routers that have been converted to work with VPNs. You know how much they cost from flashrouters.com? $299 to $499. $299 to $499. I'm selling mine for $149. So, I'm never going to sell you something without some sort of advantage. In that case, it's a price difference. I've turned it into, using a Raspberry Pi, I've turned it into a cheap thing. And the way I did that was write my own software. And not only that, I use it as a Tor router, a VPN router, or as a normal router, and I put all the software in one. And some of you will say, well, I could program a Raspberry Pi to do that. Well, try it. Some of you have tried it. It might take you a couple of weeks, and you say, wow, that took a long time to do that, and you can't reconfigure it easily. Yes, in my case, you can reconfigure it pretty much instantly because I put a menu system on there. You can put in your configuration, change it any moment. You can access it remotely, and I've basically simplified it. Oh, sure will, Uncle Joe. You haven't even, supported me with your website, Uncle Joe. You abandoned your website, your Social Vision website. Zuck that. Vizart. Your VPN is expiring soon, Vizart. Vixart. I hope you got the message because none of you have email. So Uncle Joe is on Periscope. I don't know why he's on Periscope. He should be on YouTube. So So somebody asked me. There was a question I missed technical question. What was that? What was the question I missed, guys? If there's something I didn't answer, or maybe I did answer and I just don't remember that I already answered. But if there's a question I didn't answer, uh, yeah, when you have another VPN, make sure to go to the website and cancel it before the expiration date. The reason is they will auto renew, like PIA will auto renew you, and then you're gonna be stuck for years because they won't refund you your money. So yeah. So what was that, Gary Hendon? What you can take Tor router over to your friend's house? Hello, Twin Mom. To get you removed from Google. Okay, that's a question. Removing from Google. So you go to a website. You have personal info. Artsy was the one it's not a flash router. It's good. Hold on. Ask that question a moment from now. Let me answer Artsy's question. So you find your name or your information posted on a site like, oh, let me give you an example. Spokeo, Spokeo.com. So you say, okay, my data got into Spokeo. So you said, go to Spokeo and say, take my data out. And they'll say, okay, they'll take your data out. So they take your data out. Your data's still on the internet, just out of Spokeo. So that it'll just come back. Okay, because you really need to take the data out from the websites where it was found. So some things cannot be taken out. For example, it's a public record. So if you records of events in your life like bankruptcies or lawsuits and things like that, they don't disappear. Okay, so now what happens now? And you say, well, this information on that is on this website. So I went to that and website and told them that, and have my lawyer go in there and say, take that data out, and they complied. Well, it doesn't matter if they comply because that data is found on archive.org, previously called the Wayback Machine, which Google keeps. So there's always a copy of every website that goes back to the 1990s. I used that in a lawsuit once. Somebody was trying to hide. Well, our website doesn't say that. Yes, it does. And all you have to do is go to Wayback Machine and look at what it says 20 years ago. It said, your website said this 20 years ago. So don't lie to us. Okay? See that kind of thing that I'm talking about? So that's why the solution is, do not use your zucking real name on the internet. Take all the precautions, VPNs, all the things I'm talking about, because once it gets on the internet, you cannot take it back. Okay, I need security advantage between your Tor router and Byte's VPN. Yes, because my VPN has a Tor routing feature. Now, Tor, of course, is the epitome of safety on internet activities, because with Tor, your IP addresses change every fucking minute. Every minute it changes. Yes, Rob is my real name. Every minute it changes with a Tor router. So why is that different? Because you cannot use that with a Tor browser. A Tor browser only handles HTTP and HTTPS. That's the limitation of a browser. It only handles those two protocols. So if you do email, for example, it can't use a Tor IP address on email. If you use FTP, if you use anything like that, you cannot do that. WebRTC, DNS, all of that require to use all that reveal your IP address and cannot be stopped by a Tor browser. So mine is the ultimate, because I give you, whenever you want to have complete secrecy, then you use a Tor router, and the best security is actually the VPN hardware, because the hardware is even more secure because it's end-to-end encryption, because you're holding the encrypting device right there. When you're doing a Tor on the router, you control the endpoint. End to end, you control it. Nobody else is holding the device but you. Therefore, you're guaranteed that there's no one in the middle that can actually ever do that. But that's a little overkill. So many people don't need to do that. But if you want to have that safety, then always stick to hardware. If I were Snowden, I would use the hardware Tor. I would always be on Tor, and I would use the hardware. That way, my software is not on the device. My pathway to the internet, I'm never going to get caught accidentally accessing something with my real IP address, because a Tor router would prevent that. There's no way else except to Tor. So that's one of the advantages, and I'm the only one that sells that unless you make it on your own. I do the triple Lindy and VPN. Any reason to use both Bytes VPN and your Tor router together? No, not necessarily, Gary. That's kind of overkill. It will work, but that's how do you beat Tor as it is? If you're using Tor and a VPN together, my answer is they're gonna beat you by other means, and I can tell you all the other means that they can use to beat you, like browser fingerprinting and a timing attack, which can only be done by the government. A hacker cannot do a timing attack. Only governments have the ability to do a timing attack. So timing attack is how they found the Silk Road guy. They did not break Tor. They used a timing attack. What's a VPN? It's a VPN. It's a VPN, fan. It's like part of your name. There's already 2 letters in your name that already has a VPN. You just need a P. So any reason to? What did I miss? What did I miss here? Got to get up early. So got to go. Okay, Artsy, and let's listen to my advice. Protect yourself on the internet, so that you protect before it gets on the internet, not after. I guess I should make a video of this to tell you about that repeatedly, because that's really something that people don't get. Internet safety is, this is why you have to listen to me now. Listen to me now, not later. So my homemade VPN did nothing because I was the only one on that IP address. The nice thing about my VPN that I made with the Wi-Fi router version is I simplified it. I put something complex and turned into a menu system, so then you can reconfigure the device very, very easily, instead of the complex way that you have to go sudo this, that, and go to etc. / networks, interfaces, Tor-C, this, that, and spend all your time doing IP tables, and it's kind of complicated to do. Bytes VPN, same price, yes, it's $89 a year, like always. I always wear it. There you go, Uncle Joe. Does your Wi-Fi router stop hackers and viruses? To stop hackers and viruses is very simple. It's nothing to do with VPNs or antivirus. It's very simple to stop that. Set up a second account on your computer that is not an admin. Set up a second account, so the admin will be the original user. Set up a second account that has no administrator rights and use that every day. Is your router good to connect to IoT devices? Yeah, the router it's just Wi-Fi. The IoT devices does not know what they're connecting to. If they can detect the Wi-Fi, then it'll be fine. Yes. So you need to VPN the IoT devices since they can be hacked. A Wi-Fi router would be a good one for that. The trick is to rename user as admin. Yes, the trick Mad Cow is right. I'm gonna tell you the little secret that Mad Cow just said. What you do is make two accounts. The original admin, do not call it admin and say it's the lowly employee or whatever, the slave, but that's really the admin. Then call your normal account that has no administrator rights whatsoever. Call that admin. That's the trick to use. Mad Cow knows my little secret. That's actually what I do. Okay, so my admin account is called admin, has no administrator rights. So I do it in reverse. My administrator account has no administrator rights. I have another account that has administrator rights. So that's how I do it. Nabil is back. So that's been my system. I don't really talk about that much, but that is the system that I use. And there's a reason for some of this. When you send your email, again, I'm here to give you information that you don't normally get from anyone else. Okay, so I educate you. And one of the things that some of you don't actually know. Hello, Michael Van Rook Hoyzen. Van Rook Hoy. That's a long name. Michael Van Rook Hoyzen. Okay, so that's what you do. No fake news here. One of the tricks that some email clients do, and I want to tell you this. This is one of why it's really important to take care of this. Is do not ever put your machine name on your computer as your real name. When you buy a new computer, a lot of you will do this. You buy a new computer, and the computer will ask you, enter your name, and you actually put your real name in there. When Microsoft asks you or Apple asks you for your name, don't put your name on the computer. Do not do that. Don't do that. I'm going to just tell you what happens. So some of you will put your real name on a Mac or a PC, okay? And then you say, I'm going to set up a new secret email account. I'm going to use Tutanota or Proton Mail or one of those, okay? But you forgot that you named your computer with your real name. And then you send out an email. Your email header has your computer name on there, which has your real name on there. I can't tell you how many times I see this, because you actually have no idea what shows up on an email header. That's why you should watch my email header video. I have so much information. I have 200 videos now on Rob Braxman Tech on YouTube. So if you're not following that, if you're not subscribed to that channel and looking at some of that, there's a lot you're missing on getting educated on the stuff that I'm trying to teach you. Are you saying we should lie to? Yes, absolutely. Lie to Zucking Apple and Microsoft. It's your Zucking computer. You paid for it. I put my full name, address, city, and is that wrong? Yes, Dark T Mez. If you want all that to, you feel sick. Well, Twitty, we took you from 101. You're now in 102. Twitty, you just reached level 102 with that information. We need tip of all things we need to do to set it. Why didn't you tell me that? I could make a video. What to do with a new computer. Tell me that Hawaii Theater. Remind me. I'll make a new video. There's two videos that you just said. One is about how do I remind myself of this? Maybe I have to tell Siri this. But one video is why you have to prevent data from getting into the internet, because once it's in there, it's irreversible. And then the other video says how you set up a brand new computer. These are good. Can you go back and reset it? Yes, you can, Mama Goo. Yes, you can reset it sometimes. Okay, when can you not reset it? It's very hard to reset a username. If you used a username, it makes a folder with that name on there. And when you change the name, it will delete the folder and all of your files will disappear. So if you're going to do that, I would suggest you just back up your files and just restart your computer with new settings and then copy the files you want to it later. But this is actually a good habit to do anyway, is not to rely on putting your data. I have very little data on my actual computer. If I lose my computer, no big deal. It doesn't. It's not going to shut me down. I'm not going to lose my programming or anything like that if the computer shuts down. I change computers all the time. I keep my data on Brax.me. So should I use my bank name for my computer name and my PIN for the password? That doesn't hurt you much if they don't know what it is. I use a hardware. Where is it? I use a YubiKey for my password for my computer. So I have physical key. So I have a video on YubiKey, and this is used for two-factor authentication. This little thing here, it's USB, and it also can give a master password for my password manager. And so my password for my password manager is very long. It's probably over 30 digits long, and it's random, and it comes from this little key that I have it's one of my most popular videos, YubiKey. And so I attach this so it's easy to pull out. Okay, I believe it's $50. What is my favorite OS? I don't have such a thing, user. There's no favorite OS. I can change OS. They're all the same to me. So I use all OSs. My servers are all Linux. My computers are all open source. I'm using Windows and Mac and Linux. All the software I use is open source. So I can switch to any computer. All of my data is kept encrypted in Brax.me. And so is it mobile? This one is a USB-A. So not really mobile. It only works on computers. And I explain why. They have a mobile version of this, and I explain why it's a problem in my video. Do I use Parallels? No, I use VirtualBox and VMware and what's the one on Linux? I can't remember now. I'm drawing mental blank here. So that you're talking virtual machines now. So so that's what I use. I don't I don't do a lot of virtualization on a computer anymore. I used to do a lot of it, especially when I used what's the name of that? The equivalent of a Tor router is you do virtualization on a computer. There's an NFC mobile UB. Yes, read my Unix. That's what I was talking about. Unix is pretty hard to use, Van. It's really not practical. So that's why I stopped using Unix, and I just used a Tor router. A Tor router is what Unix does. So what is the advantage of using a virtual machine? You can use Unix. Virtual machine is great for testing environments where you can set up an environment, delete it, start again. It's a little slower, but anyone doing development can benefit from virtualization. So if you want to test, running Linux and running a Mac, running Windows, and then kill it when you're done with it, then virtualization allows you to do all that without having to reset your computer. A lot of people will also use the computer in virtualized mode and then never actually use the main operating system. That way, if there's a problem, they just back up the virtualized operating systems, restore the computer, then don't lose any data. So that's another way of doing it. I don't necessarily use that because it's a little bit slower, and I need speed because I'm doing videos. I'm doing video editing, so I gotta get a lot of speed. So no, I do not. I'm not recommending the YubiKey NFC, which is the uh, mobile version of this. And the other thing is, for many of you, you don't really need this. You just need a Google Authenticator or Authy. So this is, to me, that this is handy because this combines hardware, master password, with time-based one-time password (TOTP) for two-factor authentication, and that's an advantage on a computer. That's not much use on a phone. So I don't necessarily recommend on a phone. On a phone, you can use Google Authenticator. A lot simpler. YouTube app on mobile phones is better than desktop YouTube. No, actually, they still have a lot of improvements they can make on the app. On YouTube, especially the interface when it comes to live broadcast, and they're not very good at recovering. For example, if you have a bad signal, I mean, it drops the video immediately. They don't even hold it for a few seconds. Periscope, if your signal drops, it will just sit there at least on hold while you try to recover the connection. YouTube just stops it. All my security is on floppies. Now, what happens when you can't find a floppy disk player? What happens then? Uh, so is it? So what am I missing here? Did I miss? Okay, somebody else asked a question that I said ask me in a moment. Okay, who asked that question again? Somebody asked a question and then I lost it there. I said ask me again. Couldn't use the Authy, not Auth. The app is called Authy, Authy. Okay, I lost the question. What was the question? Were you the one asking, Dark? Feeling? What are you feeling? About new? No, I not. No, somebody was asking a question while I was answering Artsy. I used my Mac Authy. Uh, who was the? Yeah, maybe that person left already. Sorry, I didn't. I just couldn't answer two things at the same time. Um, feeling more exposed than Charles Bukowski. Does your router support both 2.4 and 5G? Gary, you have to have a 3B plus Pi. That will support 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. Okay, but you have to have the new one. The old one was 2.4 gigahertz only. So the new Raspberry Pis can be configured to operate in 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. By default, I have it set to work on 5 gigahertz. So that's a default for the new ones. So if you want a Wi-Fi router, you still need a VPN subscription. That's $89 a year, and you need that regardless. And again, that pricing is pretty much the same in the industry. Plus or minus a couple of bucks. Most products in the on the internet will be in the same price range. You need to come on earlier. It's 11:16 here. Question from Gary on YouTube. Yeah, I'm answering Gary right now. Okay. Second, so what was I now I forget the question here. What was I trying to answer? Something to do with Tor router. I forgot the question. Okay, somebody can remember what I was trying to answer. Yeah, you make sure you order the 3B plus. There's like $5 difference between the two. So I can ship you a Tor router with everything already included, and it's the same price. You're not going to pay any extra for the Raspberry Pi. But if you're in a different country, I recommend you buy the Raspberry Pi yourself, because what's the point? Because the shipping could be $25 on a $50 device, and they charge it like Australia. Somebody had me ship it to Australia for $25 shipping. It's like, seriously? So deactivate two-step before I delete the app. Okay, so get the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, and that will be the one with support for 5 gigahertz. So I think I was trying to tell you what it is that you need if you wanted a Wi-Fi router, and why you need a Wi-Fi router. So some of you will only have a VPN. So you say, well, I'm just going to, I don't need your Bytes VPN. I'll go use some, PIA or something else. Okay, so if you ignore what I said about the weaknesses of those products and the fact that they don't have ad blocking nor Tor, and you said, I still want to go use those products or the big companies, okay, if you feel like you're getting a better deal and use those companies. The one thing that they don't have, hello angels, the one thing they don't have is that I have integrated products, and the one integrated product that I have is the Wi-Fi router. Now, what is the Wi-Fi router? The Wi-Fi router is a replacement to a normal router. It's a normal router. So, meaning it's normal Wi-Fi router. So, if you're running, TP-Link or Linksys or Cisco or whatever, you plug in this Raspberry Pi router and it acts as your Wi-Fi router, except it automatically connects to the VPN. Now, why is that important? It's important because you don't have to install any software on any other device. The computer will automatically connect to the VPN. So it's already preset for that. So you don't have to tell your kids, your family, your wife, we're using a VPN. You don't have to do that. Your guests come in and borrow your Wi-Fi, they're automatically all in a VPN. Now, why is that important? Because people sell, one of your members in your family will make a mistake. One of the members of your family will make a mistake and leave location on, and now they will have a combination of IP address and location, and that data will be sold to Skyhook and to whoever else wants to buy that data. And every time that they see you on the internet, they're going to do reverse lookup and find out who you are. Okay, hello, Levendi. I can't make money from doing that, Levendi, so I only do it when I can, okay? No, it doesn't block anything, Kathy. It's a freedom device. It doesn't. If you wanted to do censorship, go to Go to Zuckbook, they'll censor you. I'm going back to 56K modem and AOL mail plus Netscape and MySpace. It'll drive NZA crazy. Yeah, and flip phones. Don't forget the flip phones, man. And use ham radio. See, everything I do here, everything I do in my channel on YouTube, Rob Braxman Tech, is consistent. Okay, everything I do is consistent. You're not on 8-bit, Angels. You're only in 16-bit. I go back to 8-bit. Everything I do is consistent. You might say, why am I talking about ham radio? What's the significance of ham radio? Ham radio is awesome. Ham radio is not a centralized system, and it's really, because it's analog, all the people can listen to it. It's just not suitable for data collection. You can't say, well, you said this on the, people can say this, you said this on the internet 50 years ago. They can't say that about audio. That's why, you could say, well, last week on the radio, on ham radio, you said X. And you could say, oh yeah, prove it. And somebody could say, well, on Twitter you said XYZ, or on Periscope you said this. And somebody will say, prove it. Yes, here it is. I Googled it. You came up. You don't even know that what you say here in Periscope is being collected. Hello, Michelle. So the answer is you got to put the protections ahead of time. Don't go to me and say, I got screwed up and I need help to fix it. Well, you can pay me, $20,000. I still couldn't fix it. I live in an area with no reception. HughesNet satellite wireless Wi-Fi is horrible. Suggestion. For what? Did you see my mesh network? Did you see my mesh network video? My goodness, Tinkerballs is like hiding in here. Did you see my mesh network video, which is I'm connected to my boat at 30 megabits per second. The boat is 4 miles away. And I'm going to connect to a network 27 miles away using some of the equipment that is being discussed in that video. So I'm going to be getting a different kind of equipment, and I'm going to connect with a dish to a network 27 miles away. Okay? Did you get the speeds up? There's a little bit of an obstruction at it's not truly direct line of sight, and I'm still getting 30 megabits. And I know that if I change to a different kind of device, which is slightly more expensive, then I would get closer to the maximum rated bandwidth, which is 150 megabits. You'll be able to see if somebody gets in my boat. Yes, I will be able to do that. I'm going to put a camera on it. So I can do live streaming. 30 megabits. I can live stream from my boat to my house. So there are ways. Now what I did with a mesh network is just an experiment. But it shows that if we wanted to fight back and say we want to fight back against this, centralization of the internet, that we have a way of doing it. So I'm very, very upset with the centralization of the internet. So I have a video already made for that. So I'm gonna be I'm not gonna be broadcasting again probably till Sunday at the earliest. Next Sunday, it's a week from now at the earliest is when I'll be broadcasting next. So, and I don't think I'll have many videos this coming week, maybe a couple. So I'm going to be busy this next week. So I'm not going to have tons of video for the next week. So I'm going to try to, what the heck is that, Psychotria? I don't know everything. So some new site. Is video on Perry for YouTube for MeshNet? Oh yes, Kevin. Yes, watch that. It's 2 parts. And it's an experiment, and I just want to show you what the experiment does. That's just wrong. Something wrong. When was that video on the mesh? That was done at the beginning of the week. Hello, homie. Deb. What's up, Deb? John, YouTube will demonetize me if I play music, so music is not working too well on my broadcast. So, but I have so many gigs. I did a gig this weekend. I'm a big supporter of Snowden, Michael, because he's going to pay for, his somebody needs to pardon him, but Snowden. Much of my work is based on knowledge that Snowden confirmed. If Snowden didn't confirm it, then people like me are not going to know the truth. Snowden confirmed it for us, and at the cost of his life. So, it's sad that he had to do it, but I'm glad that he did it. Saw you earlier, Deb. Deb's all energy. Yes, Deb is all energy. You guys should all follow Deb, Holistic Deb. Gerald Ford will pardon him. Sure. Everyone should follow Holistic Deb, my good friend. It is so much fun. She's so much fun. So she's so fun, much fun to watch. Are you scoping after me, Deb? You scope right after me. I noticed. Go live. What do you think of deepfake technology? Yeah, I zocked up. I was telling, I did a lot of videos that. That's right, Deb. I'll follow Deb. She rocks. Yes, I follow. Yes, I appreciate Snowden sacrifices. Yes. What was the question? Deep fake. You know, there are war game scenarios where deep fake can be used. It's very scary. A lot better than you can play piano in Periscope instead of. Lenny PR, I do, and nobody watches it. Periscope is going down. Sorry about that, but Deb on Periscope. I don't think. I don't think Deb is active on much on YouTube yet, right? Maybe eventually, but I don't think Deb is active on YouTube yet. At least I haven't been aware of it. Uh, so yeah, Periscope is kind of going. Periscope is kind of going down here. So not yet, but coming. Uh, Periscope is kind of going down, especially for me. I mean, YouTube, my YouTube is running fine, Angel. Guys, I used to get 14,000 live viewers in a broadcast on Periscope, and I don't, nowadays my average is like 600. Okay, I mean, for years it went down to 2,000. Now 600. Seriously. So if Periscope doesn't feature you, that's it. And they'll only feature topics that are non like travel or something like that. Things that are mild and they're not gonna feature anything I do. No, I did not think about it, Van. It has no advantage to me to do so. Why would I go to BitChute when I can just do it on Brax? What does it offer to me? People are actually giving me organic growth on YouTube. Thank you, Angel. As an example, so I have a Gab AI account. So, what do I get from Gab? Nothing. Gab isn't busy. I mean, there isn't much activity on Gab. So what do I get? Do I get the organic followers on Gab? No. No. So some of these platforms, they don't have any advantage to me. So I don't have that many followers. I only have 1,400 people subscribe to me on YouTube. It's 22. There are 22 live watchers right now on YouTube. It's not 12. At the moment, it's 22. But you only see 7 here on YouTube. Yeah, they don't update the number. You got to exit and come back in. Okay, but the thing about these platforms is they have no organic search capability to actually search for topics. So they're not as sophisticated as YouTube in search. So YouTube allows me to be found by people. Many people, my growth right now is not coming from Periscope. I'm actually losing followers. I had 33,000 followers on 34,000 followers on Periscope, and the last time I looked, it was 30,399. I lost like 4,000 followers. They're not gonna censor me, fit junkie, because I don't talk politics. So So I'm not the kind that they will censor. But you don't broadcast on Brax when you're on YouTube. I do, Van, but I don't have time to monitor the comments. I am on Brax right now, but I there's only so many devices here. But Periscope is from Twitter, and they have millions of users. Yes, Periscope is dying. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Lenny. Periscope is dying. So, you know, we've said for years what the problem is, and they've kept ignoring it until, they should have known there's a problem on Periscope, because since the beginning of time, people have only stayed on Periscope for 3 months at most. 3 months. Most people stay on Periscope only for 3 months and then leave, and often never come back again. Okay? So, with that kind of rate, then having 40,000 followers doesn't help much if they're not going to come back. I don't lose subscribers on YouTube. People don't leave YouTube. So, even those 1,400 followers, and a big chunk of that now is not from Periscope. So, and that's growing. And the people joining my channel on YouTube are not from Periscope. They don't even know anything about Periscope. So, it's kind of sad, it's kind of sad. There's 24 on YouTube right now. It's kind of sad that that's happened. That we have this, this kind of like, I spent 4 years on Periscope, built 34,000 followers on Periscope, and now what do I have now? If I build 30,000 followers on YouTube, I'd be famous now. So, Scope was a YouTube contender, but they didn't want to grow it that way. Scope, they made many mistakes on Scope, and now I invested my time in the wrong platform. And now it's damaged me, and now I have to regrow. So right now I'm a newbie on YouTube. So for those of you who are watching me on YouTube, just understand that I'm a newbie on YouTube, but I'm not a newbie on social media. I've been on Twitter and Periscope for 4 years and successful. I'm one of the top people here on Periscope before. Okay? Haven't really paid much attention to Periscope in the last year. So, but before I was, I was one of the top people in here. Twitch has thousands of users too. 30,000 is far harder to attain than Periscope. No, it's actually not. Thank you, Psychotria. Right under me. Yes, right under Deb. Deb was first, and I follow next. Yeah, I remember back in the day, Deb, when I was getting 14,000 people. That was my low. Doing a broadcast, I would get 20,000, 10,000. Average was 14,000. And it was like, Zoc, I saw 14,000 was a low day. And then that dropped to 4,000. So I was, getting 4,000 a night. And that was terrible because it dropped quite a bit. And then it just kept dropping, and the reason it keeps dropping is if Periscope does not feature you in any kind of a way, you don't get any discovery, and nobody discovers you, and since the old people leave Periscope, my 30,000 followers are not on Periscope anymore. Big Keen does not come on my broadcast. It's fine, just pushing us to do bigger things. Deb, I'm pushing it through YouTube because, I'm finding it's easier to do YouTube. It takes, Deb, by the way, making videos is completely different. So this is advice for Deb, because doing live is not the same as doing video. I'm very good with live. I've done live for a long time. Making a video is completely different. Completely different. Even the style of talking in a video is very different. I have to say it took me maybe only now am I getting more comfortable where I can do it very quickly. And quickly is relative. It takes 1 to 2 days to make a video. So to do it right, it still takes a long time because I'm trying to up the quality of the video, and then takes longer. So that mesh video took 2 days. The mesh video took 2 days, but good thing I split it into two videos, so 2 days, two videos. But if I made that into one video, I had to split into two videos, otherwise it would have been too long. Thank you, Donnie. Donnie, fortunately, nobody on YouTube does what I do. There you go, Deb. I hope it gets quieter on Periscope. No, they should all go to YouTube. Making videos is demanding editing, design, special. Yeah, why are you all talking on Periscope? Talk to me on YouTube, guys. Or maybe the people on YouTube are just they don't like to say much more. People on no, Lenny, I never do 4th of July on the boat. That's dangerous. Too much traffic. Great Gold, why would you think Periscope would help me in any kind of a way? They used to, their algorithm used to favor me, and then they programmed the algorithm to disfavor me. You could always do some carpentry videos to just change it up. Yeah, I can do carpentry programming. B Brax. So they don't show diversity. What are you talking about, Great Gold? They're all about travel. What is it on Periscope? The key is see through somebody else's eyes. They have a very narrow view of what the purpose of Periscope is. Very narrow, and they actually have lost ground because of that. Okay, instead of promoting people who succeed because of interaction, they're actually discounting that, and they want you to succeed because you show something that they want to describe Periscope to be, which is doing travel and showing scenery, which is not interaction. So, are you still going to do your famous love Thanksgiving? Yes, I can do that scope. Yes. You're gonna get loud now. What does that mean? Periscope wants to eventually have it integrated into Twitter fully one day. Donnie, there's a rumor of that, but I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see that yet. I actually thought there was some indications of that. Somebody made a promise that was going to happen, and then it didn't happen. So I don't know, but maybe they'll reformat. Yes, Lenny PR. So Lenny PR, by the way, if you want tech support on Bytes VPN and Brax, the tech support is not on the Brax tech support. That's what people got confused with. They were getting tech support on Brax for Bytes VPN. So I changed that so that the tech support will now also be able to handle Bytes VPN, but that's not the original. The tech support was for Brax was being sent. The first level support was being handled by people who did not know about how to handle Bytes VPN. So I changed that. Nothing worse than having to watch slide photos from vacation. Yeah, so Lenny PR, yeah, I don't want you to feel like, you're not getting support. It's just that it was just redirected. Because you went to Brax support thinking that's where you get Bytes VPN support. Bytes VPN and Brax used to be two separate companies. So they're actually different support. And which is me for Bytes VPN. But that's combined now. That's combined. I can't do comments on YouTube as I only have an iPhone. I don't understand the question, Psychotria. I am on an iPhone and running YouTube here. I'm not picky, just Vulcan mind melding here. Meaning the chat here will be like Periscope. Twitty, I at one point I got the Periscope chat to show up here together with the YouTube chat. Then it stopped working. You have to be logged in, Psychotria. If you're not logged into YouTube, you're not going to get the chat. You're not going to be able to leave chat. So that's a problem. You have to log into YouTube. How does Periscope make money since there are no ads on it? Twitter. Periscope doesn't try to make money by itself. They are part of Twitter, and they actually sell some, featured services on the Periscope website. If you go to the periscope.tv site, you will see some videos featured, and obviously those are paid. So Super Heart also, they don't make money from Super Hearts, which is super chat here on YouTube. And thank you for the super chat from Twitty. I got 2 super chats from Twitty here on YouTube twice. Thank you, Twitty. That is awesome. That's I appreciate that. I appreciate it so much. I mean, it's anytime that anyone supports this broadcast, thank you very much. I'm repeating that I don't do this I don't make money doing this. If you think I'm getting rich from doing this, I don't know how. Okay, when I started doing this, I actually thought I could survive doing this, with my own funds, and and that's not working out. So your support is invaluable to keeping this going. So select triangle next to Rob's name, and you get live chat option. Are you talking about on YouTube? On YouTube, you have to be logged into YouTube. If you're not logged into YouTube, I don't believe you get the chat. So your feed looks so much better on YouTube. YouTube has higher feed, yes. I'm doing a multi-stream, and the quality that I'm sending to YouTube and Twitch is better than the quality I'm sending on Periscope, which is on purpose, because Periscope requires lower quality in order for the interaction to occur, whereas YouTube pays more attention to the better video. I was talking to myself in a Brax broadcast. Van, I don't have, I'd have to set up a third device to look at the Brax comments, and just too much work here. So and people don't want me to I can put your comments from Brax here on the video, but you don't want that. I think one day, I'm already an influencer, Lenny. It's just that I'm not an influencer in YouTube yet. I was an influencer, as you all know. From my days here on Periscope, I was on AM radio as a regular guest on AM radio as well. So yes, that success has already come, and then it goes up and down. You need an extra person helping me. I don't have any money to pay for an extra person. It's no biggie, just commenting about how funny it was. So, yeah. So, thank you, Rob Ebner. Thank you for watching me on. Did you come from Periscope? Did you come from Periscope? So we have 25 on YouTube at the moment. So thank you for finally, getting consistent numbers here on YouTube. It's funny, again, I'm used to the days when I used to get 14,000 people on Periscope. 14,000. And that means that concurrently I would have concurrent numbers of, 900. And it's like... now I got to be happy with I'm going to be happy with 25 people. You came from your parents' basement. Did you fix the basement too, Van? What kind of work did you do to the basement? Did you turn it into a man cave? Is that a man cave basement now? I remember those days. You remember that, Van? You've been around a while. I like watching here soon. I'll get around to getting to tube soon. Yeah, it's just important that I prefer you watch on YouTube, because I'm trying to build my YouTube channel, and by being on YouTube, then I can see more comments on YouTube, and then there'll be more interaction on YouTube too. So I got 4.99 here. I mean, look at that. That is uh it's a percentage of 14,000. I watch it in both places. What do you have? What do they have you? What do do they have you on Father's Day? What does that mean, Lenny? Father's Day or no Father's Day makes no difference to fathers. That's like there's no significance to Father's Day. So YouTube huge deficit is doesn't support background playback on iOS. YouTube chat sucks. I can't read YouTube chat with two glasses on, but can't. I can read it with two glasses on, but can't add to the conversation. Just make sure you're logged in. It's like Cotria. You have to be logged in to YouTube in order for you to make a comment. I don't get any presents, Lenny PR. I don't get any presents. Hello, Lavelle Logan. How are you doing, my friend? So, anyway, uh, just to summarize, and I guess like I said, I'm not going to be doing a live uh, at the earliest till next Sunday, at the earliest, and I'm not even sure I'll be doing it live next Sunday, but I'll try to. And uh, and I only have time for a couple of videos for the week. So well, that's good to hear, Lavelle. So anyway, I did this broadcast. I don't do a lot of social media apps for reasons of privacy. Smoke jumper. Uh, so again, to close out my broadcast here and to explain the point of this video is somebody came to my to Braxme and bought a VPN at 2 a.m. in the morning yesterday morning, and and said it didn't work. By the way, he said it didn't work, and I didn't do anything. I said, you probably just have a typo. That's all I said. There was no actual tech support needed. He got it running on his own anyway, and he said that because it took me till 1 p.m. to respond to him on a weekend, which by the way is only 10 a.m. my time on a Saturday morning, and I was at a gig. So he bought it at 2 a.m., left a comment, and then didn't figure out what the problem was till 10 a.m. and said, "You're a small company. I want my money back." So the reason for my rant here is, yes, I am a small company. Not hiding that. Thank you, Garrett. I'm not hiding that. I'm a small company. Garrett, is this the same Garrett from before? Or is this some other Garrett? I think it's a different Garrett. I'm not hiding I'm a small company, but I give you awesome service. Sometimes at odd hours, and some of you have talked to me at getting support at 1 a.m. and I'm helping you. And for somebody to realizing that I got to sleep sometime too, and it's a weekend, and you buy at 2 a.m. and expect it to a company to get it running for you. I don't know what company you're dealing with, but I even if I talk to a big company, they may send me a response saying, "We acknowledge receipt of your problem. It may take 24 hours before I get a resolution." So I don't know what these people are talking about. You can't get service as good as mine, even with a big company. Even with a big company. And by the way, this guy had no real problem. It actually was working. He just didn't know it was working. Didn't know it was working. He thought, it's not working. Wrong. It is working. He didn't even need tech support. He said, well, you're such an awful company because you're so small and you didn't give me that answer. You could have told me at, is it the Garrett that I know? Is this the Garrett that I know? Is this the network Garrett or some other Garrett? Is that the network Garrett? Oh, it's my friend Garrett. How are you doing, Garrett? Because you don't have any picture or anything, and I'm trying to remember which account. That's you, Network Garrett. Okay. Garrett, you're pretty famous too. You're pretty famous, or is your term over? Is your term over now? Are you following me on YouTube, Garrett? Why don't they like small company? Levendi, it's not just that it's a small company. Uh, Thank you, Garrett. I may be a small company, but one thing is I can't cheat you. I'm online here every night. You were reelected. Awesome. Also, another year, Garrett. So I can't cheat you and say I'm selling you bad products because you can come here and say this guy's selling bad products and I'll be out of the game. So I cannot fail you. If I fail you, I'll refund your money. Big company cares less. I have good night, Garrett. I have to care because it's what sustains me. I'm being sustained by $10 here, $10 there. Yes, Angel, that's correct. That's correct, Great Goal. That's exactly what happens because I honestly care about my products and what I do because I don't this is important to me. And I was kind of insulted by that. So yes, is that the original old water bottle behind you like a prop? I haven't touched it. It's probably been there for ages. I probably need to throw it away, John. Just so I don't forget, I'm gonna move it out. Actually, it's still full. Does YouTube keep track of which comments I thumbs up? You can go to Google activity controls and disable all the tracking. Yeah, just go to Google activity controls and you can disable anything you don't want tracked. And so I give kudos to Google for adding that. And Google Rob makes your problems funny too. Been banned from Twitter for about a month now. I enjoyed the ban. There you go, Smoke. But why are you on Periscope? Go to YouTube then. Mecca's Queen from New Jersey. Mecca's Queen from New Jersey told us she's from elsewhere and then ended up she's just from New Jersey. How are you doing, Mecca's Queen? You don't visit your Brax account anymore. You'll have to put a vase of flowers in its place. The Brax. Yes, it's home, guys. Braxme is a safe platform. I don't really talk on any other platform. If you expect a conversation from me elsewhere, I'm always thinking somebody else is watching me when I put any comment anywhere. So if I do, I will respond to you like 50,000 other people are watching my comments. So if you want a more private conversation, you have to talk to me and Brax me, and then you will get a private conversation because I know no one else can read that. I have faith in it because I wrote it. I'm watching QQ if I know what QQ means. Do a review of Bytes VPN on your channel. Tom Spark reviews. You're a privacy YouTuber? Really? How many privacy YouTubers are there? That's incredible. Tom Spark. I didn't even know there are such a thing as privacy people on YouTube. It's like that's rare, like a unicorn. You know, I put up internet privacy and I come up on top, which doesn't mean anything apparently, because I still have only 1,400 subscribers, and I put internet privacy and I come up on top. I have no. If you search for the word internet privacy guy, that's me. Privacy YouTubers will be banned. Maybe they can't make money off privacy YouTubers because we don't make a profit for YouTube. Maybe that's what it is. Do you have a release date yet? For what, Lavelle? Everything that needs to be released has been released. What are we asking about, Lavelle? Was it some specific thing that you wanted? Was it the hardware version that I did before, but now there's the new version? I'm waiting for your gigabit. Uh, uh, the Lavelle, the new one is gigabit. The new one is Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. That's gigabit. You need a server version. Tell me what you need. Hello, Smarty Bob. You need a server version. Why don't you tell me, Lavelle, exactly what the specs are that you're looking for, to make sure that it's up to speed. But what do you mean the server version? What are you trying to accomplish? YouTube is banning organic farmers. What happened? Tom Spark Reviews. Tom Spark Reviews disappeared. Tom Spark Reviews only came for. Did I not respond fast enough? Oh wow, you've integrated YouTube. I've integrated YouTube. Becca's Queen out. I've been doing YouTube since the beginning of the year. That is so progressive. I mean, you've been here like 50 times since. I've been doing YouTube since the beginning of the year. There's Tom Spark. I've been looking for another privacy YouTuber to collab with. Absolutely, Tom Spark. But it's hard to find a YouTuber I agree with. Okay. That's a very good point, Tom Spark. And if you're a true privacy guy, then you will find the same problems I had. Okay, Tom Spark has the same issue I had. So I said to myself, okay, I'm a cybersecurity privacy guy. Okay, who do I work with? So I go to Security Now with, Steve Gibson and Leo Laporte. So I said, okay, Steve Gibson and Leo Laporte. They're sellouts. They're sellouts. They sell out to the big tech. They never say anything negative about Facebook or Google because they make money from the advertising, so they can't sell out. So they're like, it's like, suck. Then you go to some of these cybersecurity people, and cybersecurity in itself is not the same as privacy. Cybersecurity is not the same as privacy, and here's why. An employer's desire for cybersecurity means the employees have to give up privacy. It's two different concepts. So when I say I'm into privacy, that's for the individual. It's going to be a narrow area because it doesn't hit all of cybersecurity. I don't like the HTTPS spying done, by the blue suit people systems that they put on employer systems, or that Randy Horton here on Periscope sells to Saudi Arabia. I don't like those kinds of devices to spy on that, but that's security needed by the big companies, but they're bad for privacy. They do man in the middle. So it bugs me. So it's really such a narrow area, and it's like I'm sucking, having difficulty defining, making people understand that privacy is privacy, and it's not cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is just one element of it, as long as it applies to the individual. So corporate cybersecurity. So some people will come to me and say, "Well, I'm in corporate cybersecurity, and we spy on employees." Well, Zuck, we got a conflict. Or I'm in corporate cybersecurity working on Facebook cybersecurity. Well, Zuck you. That's correct, Angel. That's correct. So Tom Spark Reviews. I don't know if you match my views here, but if you're really into privacy, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Should I buy a Huawei device or not? That's up to you. That sounds like a fun job. Why is it a fun job? Since you can't just keep talking to yourself. uh, like I'm asking if Tom Spark really uh, follows, what the same. I'm gonna look at Tom's channel and see if he and I agree. So, if you're in privacy, then chances are you and I will actually agree, because privacy is not the same as saying cybersecurity. I mainly focus on VPN reviews. Yeah, I don't. That's I sell a VPN, but you probably found my VPN video or my antivirus video. My privacy on scope does not work. I don't know why. Joe Biden said he'll cure cancer if he gets elected. Yes, I am on a mission. Yes, Angel. I mainly focus on VPN reviews. Well, Tom Sparks, you need to maybe expand your market. Maybe we can collaborate on expanding that. You see, I've expanded. I do ham radio as a adjunct in my channels too, because it's another place that I know has more levels of privacy, even though it's actually open. You were searching YouTube for internet privacy YouTubers, and yes, of course, I'm going to come on under internet privacy. I'm like, uh, very sad, Tom Spark. I'm on the top of the list on internet privacy, and nobody searches for it except for guys like you. Very few people. Yes, and you still live in New Jersey. Yes. So yes, so some of you are on YouTube, some of you are on Periscope. For those who just came in, so I'm talking to people on Periscope. I am not monitoring comments on Twitch. I am not monitoring comments on Brax. Did you participate on Field Day over there in the West? You already asked me that question, Lenny. So far, I have not participated in Field Day. I don't have time to participate in Field Day. Uh, uh, I may want to participate in Mesh Networking Field Day, which they said they invited me to do that. I think that's next week, but I'm out. I'm not around next week. Before making your own VPNs, which VPNs did you hate? I'll tell you the little VPN story, which actually, involved my making Bytes VPN. And you can see my response because I made a video about what I hated about the big VPNs. I was a big promoter of PIA for 4 years. I was promoting PIA, and PIA was referred to me by somebody from Anonymous, and I support PIA. And a lot of people here followed me, and for years, I brought a lot of business to PIA. So a lot of PIA business came from me, and then last year, PIA decided they're going to block my zucking email. So they started blocking, all the ports for SMTP, 25. All of them, all the ports for SMTP. And since one of the worst things that you can do is block a VPN on email, that was just, that just blew my mind, because the email has your IP address on there. It's in the header. I have look at that. Look at the email headers video, Tom Sparks, because that really applies to VPNs in a big way. If a VPN has to force you to do SMTP and turning off your email, and by the way, PIA said, well, we'll unblock your SMTP if you give us the name of your server, your login address, and all that to the SMTP. And I say, zuck you, because now you want me to break my privacy. Every time I change my email or whatever, I have to let PIA know. Suck you. That's not going to happen. So that was number one. That just alerted me. We got a problem here, Houston. SMTP is when you send out an email. It uses a protocol called SMTP, and many VPNs block SMTP because of spam, And you can't block a VPN on email because that's where the IP address goes. In a big way, it's in your email. If you block the blocking email, then what's the point of the VPN? Then second, what happened to companies like PIA? They, the big companies like Amazon and so on started collecting, the identities of large groups of IP addresses with a lot of people on it, and using browser fingerprinting, they can tell that these are different people using IP addresses, and they'll find thousands of people with the same IP address, and then they said, "Oh, VPN." So now they start automatically tracking those, and there's a lot of captcha codes on those big companies, whereas mine doesn't get that. I hardly ever get a captcha code in Bytes VPN. Why? Because it's stealthy. Nobody knows it's a VPN. Nobody knows it's a VPN. Data manipulation, really? See? So, I run a secure app, Tom Spark. It's called Brax.me. And because I run a secure app, I actually don't even email tech support. There's no tech support email on Bytes VPN. Everything is done through secure communications. So you don't need to review Bytes VPN. It's not intended. I don't need to make Bytes VPN a big name. It's not important. I just want to make it into a kind of a boutique kind of platform where a few select people can use it if they want special service. Because my VPN comes with Tor routing option, ad blocking option, very few people on each server, and all the service is done in an encrypted platform, so nobody's discussing VPN things out in the open on email where somebody's reading it, and priced pretty much the same as everyone else. So you even get two products with it because I have Tor routing and ad blocking. It's all included. So anyway, are getting deplatformed, are they safe with emailing list? Safe in what way? They're actually profiling the people on the mailing list. That's the problem with that. So Milo sends out an email. The mailing list is now, suspect. They should go to Brax.me. That way, the users, individual users, are not identified personally. Yeah, you see, Brax.me is made for that. You can't be deplatformed on Brax because there's no way to identify you anyway. Everyone's on a pseudo identity. So, and by the way, Thomas Spark, what is your number one? NordVPN. So NordVPN, as an example of a company that actually claims, "Oh, our servers are all out of the U.S." They talk about that like that's a good thing. If your servers are out of the U.S., there's no warrant required to break into your system. So three-letter agencies can actively be, trying to break into your servers all day and all night, and you have no recourse. In the U.S., they need a warrant. It is awesome. That's good. That's good, Tom Spark. That's good. Well, I'm not competing for, I'm not HK should be using Brax. Then they'll DDoS Brax instead of Telegram. I'm not looking for a review of Bytes VPN, Tom Sparks. You don't have to. You don't have to worry about me trying to, influence you in any kind of a way. I made the product because, I felt like I was being I was being forced into losing my privacy, and so I decided, why don't I make something for myself? So Bytes VPN was made for me. It was my own way to protect myself. So I started with Bytes VPN as a product that I wanted for myself, and I'm sharing with others. Was going to join Telegram, but don't want to give my phone number. Exactly, Smokey. So Brax.me does not require a phone number or email, and you can use TOTP or Google Authenticator Authy to do two-factor password verification, password recovery without giving your email address. Okay? No email address necessary on Brax.me. So anyway, back to my just to review the schedule because I'm gonna be closing out my broadcast here now. So I'm not going live until you know Sunday, Monday at the earliest next week, and I only have a couple of videos I can release this week because I've kind of a busy week here. So, but I'll try to catch up right after that and try to stir up a lot of activity the following week. So be patient, and I have a lot of videos you got to all watch. There's so many new videos. There's that new mesh video that I just made on. Can you add a bit more on Terminus app settings for your router? Yeah, on the documentation, John. Yeah, for Terminus, you need. Some of you don't understand the terminology if you don't do SSH. Yes. Come to Brax.me. Yes. Angel, you don't need to write down your password. Just use Google Authenticator to recover your password. Sign up on Brax. Immediately set up Google Authenticator, and then you will be able to come in at any time. Never lose your password. And that's where I keep my stuff because I feel a lot safer because I know how the encryption works. So I'm. Are you using Google Authenticator or Authy for Brax? That's what you should use. I'm glad I hit your notification. First Perry in months. Wow, thank you, Psychotria. First Perry in months. My goodness, good thing you didn't turn off your thing. But figure out what's wrong with your YouTube there. Figure out what's wrong with your YouTube. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a few days on video, or maybe only a day or so on video, and see you live in a week or so. Okay? So good night, my friends, and thank you for watching. And Tom Sparks, I'm gonna go watch your stuff and see what you recommend. And certainly open to any collaboration. We should perhaps do some sort of. The best Tom Spark is to talk to me on Brax.me since I don't really do email. So yeah, Brax.me. Rob Braxman at Brax.me. So I don't do email. It's part of the privacy thing. If you really believe in privacy, you'll understand. I do all kinds of tech. Paige is a princess. I am a cybersecurity expert, but I'm actually a long-time software developer in a major way. I've done a lot of enterprise systems that you may not even realize. I'm one of the inventors of electronic health records. Paige is a princess. Just to name a few things. So I've done a lot of stuff in my year. Okay, you can talk to me on Brax.me. Rob.brax.me actually opens up a direct chat. Rob.brax.me. HTTP rob.brax.me. What is the best domain registrar? Doesn't matter. I use Amazon. No, not patient portals. No. Patient portals is 1% of the electronic health records. I mean, the whole thing. Lots of thousands and thousands of doctors and hospitals use systems I developed. Hey, Drac. Yeah. Yes, I'm to this day, I'm no longer in the business, but people use my software. Uh, yeah, Siemens used to sell my software and call it Siemens, even though it's not Siemens. I made it. So I haven't been on lately. Yes, health issues. Drac, that's awful. It's awful to hear. Okay, guys. So see you soon. Anyone want to talk to me? Brax.me is my platform, and no, I'm not. I'm not, Mark. I wish I were. I was. How about that? I was. I have a different email user, Mainland, in my inbox. I know everything about him. Either the worst system I've learned was COBOL. Okay, Rainbow Trail. Okay, guys. Good night. I'll see you soon. Thank you, Francis.